With its intent to have a platform for Jamaican poets to grow, become better, and be more recognized in Jamaica, 876 Poetry was formed. To tell us more about 876 Poetry and the movement, we have founder Nico Soul Graham and 876 poet, Sanjay Inkosi Facey in our cultural spotlight. Welcome, Soul and Inkosi.
Thank you.
Thank you very
All
much.
right, I'm going to start by just reading a section of one of your poems from your publication, the Thoughts of a Broken Mind, the Reorientation, right? And it's Free Yourself. It says, why are we not breaking barriers? Who decide for us the path we take? Born in a society which claims to educate, we lack the understanding of common reasoning, simply feeding to us the wholesale doctrine they regurgitate. That's a strong criticism about how we educate and socialize our citizens in Inkosi.
Yes.
Why you poets always are stir up problems?
We are not stirring problems. The problem exists, but you find that society on a whole tend to push these problems under the carpet and try to present something else.
Yes.
You know, and it's affecting us as a nation.
Right. So one of the reasons for your poetry is to stimulate and agitate the discussion to change things.
Yes.
What about you, Saul? What brought you into it?
Same. I realized I had the talent for writing from high school days, so I just decided that I was going to try poetry. I noticed it was something I was good at doing, and over the years I just tried to become better. But for me, poetry is somewhat therapeutic because it helps me write about things that a lot of persons refuse to talk about. And poetry creates an avenue for issues, self-esteem issues, and that's what I really use my poetry for.
What are some of those? What are some of those things that you find that you can express in poetry that society shies away from?
Anything I write about, I don't seclude myself to writing specifically about one topic. Ghetto, anything that comes up in the head, I just write.
Yeah, that sounds like a true poet. You get inspiration from all over.
Everything.
But 876 Poetry now, this is a platform for poets. Tell us a little bit more about why it was important for you to not only write, but now get other writers together.
All right, when I decided to actually start performing poetry, I was shown a flyer, October 23rd last year was the first time I started performing. So it's almost a year since I've been performing, but I realized that to find places where you can go to perform and share your craft, it was really hard to find. So through making connections with persons and getting to know people who are in the art world and creatives like myself and persons who put on events, I decided that seeing that I'm now finding out about so many persons who have a passion for what I do as well, why not create a platform where we become a lot more recognized and start getting paid for what we do, because poetry is really under-recognized in Jamaica. And there are persons here who really want to pursue poetry, but because it is not seen as a career path, it is shied away from, and a lot of persons who have the talent to write aren't using it.
So how does 876 Poetry solve that problem? Poets who engaged are able to do what that they weren't able to do before?
We're on a mission at the moment, firstly to build the brand itself, get it registered so we can start going forward and creating initiatives to create events where persons can come and perform and get paid.
So it's about getting poets together to stage events where there's no one admission to engage and listen to the art.
And also we are very strong about helping each other, building each other as writers. So it really helps persons persons who are shy about what they write. They have a platform where they can post their stuff with like-minded persons who give feedback and say, all right, then it's okay, this needs to be fixed, or we help each other to grow.
Helping each other to grow is one thing. Is it possible, do you know of any Jamaican poets who have been able to achieve commercial success, make a living from poetry?
Mostly dub poets.
Yeah, the dub poets complain that they are the forgotten ones.
Dub poets, they are still under-recognized overall, but dub poets like Mutabaruka, Okonoro, and persons like them, they are more recognized in the world. But what we do mainly is spoken word poetry, and that's something that's really and truly under-recognized, because dub poetry is just an image of your culture.
Yeah.
So persons venture to dub poetry because it is more recognized. But us as spoken word poets, we are trying to become in that sense.
Yeah.
Well, they have a piece of spoken word that they want to share with us, so go right ahead.
It's titled Jamaican Greats. It seeks to highlight where we're coming from and what we should aspire to be. There was Sam Sharp, hung by the neck for fighting for his people's freedom. Yeah, they were Africans. He was black. There was Nani, who fought for the maroon's simple human right, the right to exist in the land of their captives. They were Africans, yes. They were black. There was Paul Bogle. Stony Gut was his empire, freedom being his only desire. With a noose about his neck, whips upon his back, from every lash, our freedom bled. Yet, to us about him they lied. Never mind, we grasped the lesson intended. Remember Marcus Garvey, Pan-Africanism, Black Star Liner, and self-reliance. Remember Donald Quarry, first Jamaican Olympian, Merlin Ottey, Asafa Powell, and we will never forget what Usain Bolt. Doofy. Bob Marley made reggae music a universal delicacy. Birthed from the geographical coordinates of land, wood, and water, reggae music has become a lifestyle, matriculated from a space into a genre. Peter Tosh, Dennis Brown, Garnet Silk, and Sister Marcia. Wait, let's talk about Buju, Ninja Man, Shabba, King Jamis, and the dancehall culture. Vibes Cartel. Oku Onura, Ras Horton, Yasus, and Muta Baruka, just to name a few of the keepers of our culture. Someone whispered, "No forget Miss Lou, and the war she fight for Patwa." Never, ever, ever. All them things ya travel through the media, but a daily me see hope in the streets of Jamaica. See a child give a homeless a bun and a buckle of water. It touched my soul, cause a millions pass the outstretched hand while I beg for compassion. Yet I still see awesome things being done by the hearts of awesome Jamaicans.
Mr. Poetry Craft, thank you. Thank you so much, Inkosi.
Very well done. You write a lot, just scanning the book, about that period of slavery, emancipation, and colonization. Tell me quickly why.
It should be our sole responsibility to re-educate, learn as much about our culture before history, before slavery rather.
Right.
Learn about all of this and get it into our culture, because we are the only nation right now existing who doesn't have a culture. We have forgotten everything about where we're coming from, about Africa, and we adapt to every culture that we are integrated in. So when an African is taken from Africa, brought to England, or America, or China, we adopt their culture. When a Chinese is taken from, or travel from their culture,
they insert their culture.
They bring everything with
The
them.
work of poets is so important. Not sorry to cut you to help us to remember those things. Thank you very much.